Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we are going to be exploring something really incredible in AI. It's being called the next big leap. And we're talking about AI that can essentially remember everything.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Right. So buckle up as we take a deep dive into the world of near infinite context windows.
It really is a fascinating shift when you think about how AI used to be. I mean, early AIs, they could barely handle a short chat.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about AI that can process like entire libraries of information in one go. It's really incredible.
That's right. Yeah, we're not talking about like incremental improvements here. This is like a fundamental change in how AI systems operate, according to our source today, which is an article from datapro.news titled "The Dawn of Near Infinite Context Windows."
Yeah,
So I guess to start off, I think we should break down what a context window actually is.
yeah.
I know it's been compared to like short-term memory for AI, but what does that actually mean, like in terms of how it works?
Yeah, it's a pretty good analogy. Think of it like this. It's the amount of information an AI can kind of hold in mind at any given time.
Right.
So it's the text that the AI considers when it's generating a response, shaping its understanding of the situation and kind of guiding its output. And in the past, this memory, you can call it that,
Yeah.
was extremely limited.
Okay. So just to get a sense of scale, how limited are we talking? I mean, was it like trying to have a conversation with someone who could only recall the last few sentences you said?
Exactly. You got early AI models, they could only handle a few thousand tokens, which really limited their capabilities.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to solve a complex problem or have like a really in-depth, nuanced discussion with someone who could only remember a handful of things that you just said.
Right.
It just wasn't possible.
But this new development, it's like giving AI a memory palace, right?
It really is.
Because the article mentions models handling millions of tokens,
Yeah,
which is a staggering leap from thousands to
that's
millions.
incredible.
Can you put that into perspective a little bit?
Yeah, so think about it this way. We've gone from AI that struggles to follow a short conversation to AI that can potentially process, entire books in one go.
Wow.
It's like having, a research assistant who can instantly recall any piece of information they've ever encountered, like at your fingertips, which is amazing.
And the article even quotes Mustafa Suleiman saying, "We have prototypes that have near infinite memory, meaning it just doesn't forget, which is truly transformative."
Right.
That statement alone really suggests we're on the verge of something truly revolutionary.
Yeah. Suleiman's statement really captures the magnitude of this shift. The ability for AI to basically remember everything.
Hmm.
It unlocks so many possibilities. It
Yeah.
changes how we can interact with these systems and the problems that we can tackle with these systems.
So let's get into some specifics.
Yeah.
The article dives into some real-world examples of how this could play out.
Right.
What really struck me was the idea of AI analyzing an entire code base at once to find bugs. Like, that's got to be a game changer for software development, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine the efficiency gains. If an AI could instantly spot, errors and vulnerabilities, that would take human developers hours, days, even weeks to find
That,
Alfarani.
right.
It's a huge leap in terms of speed and accuracy.
Yeah. And it's not just about finding bugs either.
Right.
The article suggests this could lead to AI systems that can engage in like truly in-depth conversations, remembering every detail of your past interactions with it.
Yeah.
So no more starting from scratch each time you interact with the AI. It could be
Right.
like picking up a conversation right where you left off, even like weeks or months later, which I think is really incredible.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The potential for like, seamless continuous interactions is remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's not just conversations.
Right.
Imagine, AI tools that can instantly analyze huge data sets and give us insights that we couldn't even uncover before. The
Wow.
applications are really expansive.
Yeah. So I got to ask, the article mentions that these prototypes with near infinite memory are expected to come online in 2025. I mean, are we really that close to seeing this level of AI capability like in action?
Yeah, we are. This isn't, some distant future we're talking about. These
Right.
advancements are happening right now.
Wow.
And I think the next few years will be critical in shaping how this technology impacts our world.
Yeah.
It's really a pivotal moment for AI.
Yeah. And that brings us to, the potential impacts for those of us who are actually working in the field.
Yeah.
The article highlights that data and AI engineers will need to completely rethink how they work.
Right.
Can you elaborate on like what those shifts might actually look like?
Yeah, I think traditional approaches to data pipelines and, model architectures might need to be completely redesigned to handle these much larger context windows.
Mhm.
The amount of information that these AIs can process requires a different mindset, and a new set of tools.
Yeah. So it's not just about adapting existing processes. It's like we're
No.
talking about developing entirely new methodologies
Right.
for working with AI.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're talking about a fundamental shift in the entire field of data engineering.
It really is a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
We're moving from a world of, limited context to a world where AI can potentially access and process almost any information imaginable.
Wow.
It's pretty exciting. It's challenging, but exciting.
Yeah. And speaking of challenges, the article also touches on the importance of optimization.
Right.
Can you explain why optimization becomes even more critical when we're dealing with near infinite context windows?
Sure. So with such huge amounts of data to process, we need to develop even more efficient algorithms and techniques
Right.
to make sure that these AI models remain responsive and practical to use.
Okay.
It's not enough to simply have access to all this information.
Right.
We need to make sure that the AI can actually use it efficiently
Yeah.
and effectively.
So it's almost like having, a library with every book ever written.
Right. But you need a super fast, intelligent librarian to help you actually find what you need in that library.
Exactly.
It seems like optimization is really key to unlocking the potential of this technology.
It really is. Optimization is crucial for ensuring that these powerful AIs are accessible and usable for a wide range of applications.
Right.
Without efficient processing, even the most advanced AI with near infinite memory, it could be hindered by, slow performance.
Right. And this brings up another point that the article emphasizes, that we're only just scratching the surface of what these powerful AIs will be able to do.
Yeah.
It's almost like we've discovered a new continent, and we're just starting to explore its vast potential.
That's a good way to put it.
What are some of those unexplored areas that you find particularly intriguing?
Yeah. Well, one area I find really fascinating is the potential for personalized learning and development.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that can analyze your entire learning history.
Understand your unique strengths and weaknesses, and then create a completely customized learning path that's tailored to your specific needs and goals.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't just be about like recommending content. It would be about understanding how you learn best
Right.
and then tailoring the approach accordingly.
Exactly. The AI could adjust the pace, the complexity, even the presentation style to optimize your learning experience.
Wow.
And it can highlight connections between, different concepts you've encountered to help you build a deeper understanding of the subject matter.
It sounds almost like having a personalized team of expert tutors
Yeah.
that are constantly adapting to your needs and guiding you along the way.
Right.
Do you think this could actually address some of the shortcomings of our, traditional education systems?
I think it certainly has a potential. Traditional classrooms, they often struggle to cater to individual learning styles and paces.
Right.
With this AI-powered personalized learning, everyone could have access to an education that's tailored to their unique needs, which would foster a deeper love of learning
Yeah.
and maximize their potential as individuals.
That's a really exciting prospect, especially for those who, maybe haven't felt so well served by those traditional models.
Right.
But let's shift gears for a moment
Sure.
and talk about something else the article highlighted, which was the need for a shift in mindset when it comes to AI development.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
Well, the article argues that we need to kind of move away from, our traditional AI development approaches, the ones that rely on limited context.
Okay.
We need to embrace this power of near infinite memory and
Mhm.
design systems that can actually leverage this vast access to information.
So it's not just about like building bigger and better models.
Right.
It's about fundamentally rethinking how we design them. And
Interact with them.
it's kind of like, moving from writing on a single sheet of paper to having an endless scroll.
Right. The scope of what you can create changes dramatically.
Mhm.
We need new algorithms, new architectures,
Yeah.
a whole new approach to AI development.
That sounds like a massive undertaking, to be honest.
It is.
What kind of skills and expertise do you think will be most crucial for navigating this new era of, AI development?
Well, I think we're going to need computer scientists, data scientists, and engineers who can really think outside the box,
Right.
who can imagine and create systems that can handle and process this vast amount of data effectively.
Okay.
But we'll also need ethicists and philosophers
Mhm.
to guide us in using this technology responsibly and ethically.
It sounds like we're talking about a truly collaborative effort here,
We are.
bringing together diverse perspectives and expertise to ensure that we're actually harnessing the power of near infinite context windows for good, not just for, whatever.
Yeah, it's a multidisciplinary challenge for sure,
Right.
and it will require a collective effort to navigate it successfully.
Yeah. And this brings us back to the broader question of impact. We've talked about, the potential for personalized learning, for more efficient software development, even for things like digital twins, which is pretty mind-blowing.
Mhm.
But zooming out even further, what do you see as the most significant potential impact of, near infinite context windows on society as a whole?
For me, it's the potential for AI to become like true partners in problem solving,
Okay.
collaborators who can help us tackle some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Wow.
Imagine AI systems that can analyze global climate data, identify patterns, and then propose solutions to mitigate, climate change,
Okay.
or AI that can sift through tons of medical research
Yeah.
to accelerate the discovery of new treatments and cures.
So it's not just about individual tasks or applications, it's about using AI to augment our collective intelligence
Exactly.
and address problems that have seemed, for a long time insurmountable. That's really powerful. And I think it kind of leads to the next question, which is, are we talking about, a distant future here? Or is this something we could realistically see happening within our lifetimes?
Yeah, well, the timeline is difficult to predict for
Mhm.
sure.
Right.
But as we've discussed, the article mentions that those prototypes with near infinite memory are expected to be operational as early as 2025.
Right.
So it's not science fiction. It's something that we could witness unfolding in the very near future, which is crazy.
It's almost like we're standing, right on the cusp of a new era, and we have like a front row seat to watch this incredible story unfold.
We do. It's a
Yeah.
very exciting time to be following this field.
Yeah.
And I really encourage, all of our listeners to stay curious and stay informed and just be prepared for a future that may be even more extraordinary than we can even imagine right now.
Well said. But before we get too carried away with future possibilities, I want to take a step back
Right.
and reflect on something we haven't really talked about yet: the potential limitations of this technology. Every new advancement comes with its own set of challenges,
For sure.
and I'm curious to explore those a bit further.
Mm.
So let's pick up this thread in part two of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really is a fascinating intersection of technology and philosophy. The potential of digital twins, AI with near infinite memory,
Yeah.
it all points to a future that I don't think we can even really grasp right now.
Yeah, it's almost overwhelming to even think about, but let's maybe focus in on something you just mentioned, this idea of personalized learning.
Mhm.
You described this vision where AI could analyze someone's learning history to craft a truly like tailored learning path.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible, but
Yeah.
how would it work in practice?
Well, imagine an AI system that has access to your entire educational journey, like every book you've ever read, every course you've taken, every article you've even skimmed online.
Right.
It could identify your learning patterns, the concepts you grasp quickly, the areas where you struggle.
So it wouldn't just be about like recommending content. It would be
Yeah.
about understanding how you learn best and tailoring the approach accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The AI could adjust the pace, the complexity, even the presentation style to optimize your learning experience.
Okay.
And it could even highlight connections between different concepts you've encountered, to help you build a deeper understanding of the subject matter.
It sounds almost like having, a personalized team of expert tutors that are constantly adapting to your needs and guiding you along the way. Do you think this could actually address some of the shortcomings of, our traditional education systems?
I think it has the potential, for sure. Traditional classrooms often struggle to cater
Mm-hmm.
to individual learning styles and paces.
Right.
With AI-powered personalized learning, everyone could have access to an education tailored to their unique needs,
Right.
which I think would foster, a deeper love of learning and really maximize each person's potential.
It's an exciting prospect, especially I think for people who, maybe haven't felt so well served by those traditional educational models. But
Yeah.
let's shift gears a little bit
Yeah.
and talk about something else that the article highlighted, which was the need for a shift in mindset when it comes to AI development.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
Well, the article argues that we need to kind of move away from our traditional AI development approaches,
Okay.
the ones that rely on limited context.
Mm,
You know, we need to embrace this power of near infinite memory
right.
and design systems that they can truly leverage this vast access to information.
So it's not just about building like bigger and better models.
Right.
It's about fundamentally rethinking how we design and
Exactly.
interact with these systems.
It's kind of like moving from writing on a single sheet of paper to having an endless scroll.
Right.
The scope of what you can create just changes
Yeah.
dramatically. We need new algorithms, new architectures,
Yeah.
a whole new approach to AI development.
That sounds like a massive undertaking.
It is.
What kind of skills and expertise do you think will be most crucial for navigating this new era of, AI development?
Well, I think we're going to need computer scientists, data scientists, and engineers who can think outside the box,
Okay.
who can imagine and create systems that can handle and process this vast amount of data effectively.
Hmm.
But, we're also going to need ethicists and philosophers
Yeah.
to guide us in using this technology responsibly and ethically.
It sounds like we're talking about a truly collaborative effort here,
We are.
bringing together really diverse perspectives and expertise to ensure that we're using the power of near infinite context windows for good.
Yeah, it's definitely a multidisciplinary challenge.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to require a collective effort to navigate successfully.
And this brings us back to, that broader question of impact.
Right.
We've talked about, the potential for personalized learning, for more efficient software development, even for things like digital twins.
Yeah.
But zooming out even further, what do you see as the most significant potential impact of near infinite context windows on society as a whole?
For me, it's the potential for AI to become true partners in problem solving, like collaborators that can help us tackle some of humanity's biggest challenges.
Wow.
Imagine AI systems that can analyze global climate data,
Hmm.
identify patterns, and then actually propose solutions to mitigate climate change.
Right.
Or AI that can, sift through mountains of medical research and accelerate the discovery of new treatments and cures.
So it's not just about, those individual tasks or applications.
Right.
It's about using AI to really augment our collective intelligence
Exactly.
and address problems that have, for so long seemed insurmountable.
Right.
That's really powerful. And it kind of makes me wonder, are we talking about, some far off distant future here, or is this something we could realistically see happening within our lifetimes?
Well, the timeline is definitely difficult to predict with any certainty.
Right.
But as we've talked about, the article mentions that prototypes with near infinite memory are expected to be operational as early as 2025.
Right.
So it's not science fiction.
Right.
It's something that we could witness unfolding in the very near future.
It's almost like we're standing, right on the cusp of a new era, and we have a front row seat to watch this incredible story unfold.
We do. It's a very exciting time to be following this field.
Yeah.
And I really encourage our listeners to stay curious and stay informed and be prepared for a future that may be even more extraordinary than we can imagine right now.
Well said. But before we get too carried away with those future possibilities,
Okay.
I want to take a step back and reflect on something we haven't really talked about much yet, and that's the potential limitations of this technology.
Right.
Every new advancement comes with its own set of challenges.
For sure.
And I think it's really important to explore those a bit further. So let's pick up this thread in part 3 of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
So we've been on this incredible journey, exploring the potential of near infinite context windows in AI. But it's important to acknowledge that, like any technology, it's not without its limitations.
Mm-hmm.
And we've touched on the need for, new algorithms, optimization techniques. But what other hurdles do you see kind of on the horizon as we move into this new era?
Yeah. Well, one of the big challenges I see is ensuring the accuracy and the reliability of all the information these AIs are processing.
Yeah.
I mean, with access to such massive data sets, the potential for, errors, inconsistencies, even misinformation, it increases dramatically.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like that old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
Right? If the AI is learning from flawed data, its outputs are going to be flawed as well. Right?
Exactly. So we need to develop, really robust mechanisms for verifying the accuracy of all the information these systems are trained on.
Okay.
And we also need to develop ways for the AI to, critically evaluate the information that it's processing,
Right.
identifying potential biases or inaccuracies in the data itself.
So it's not just about the quantity of data, but the quality
Right.
and the integrity of that data as well.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the sources, the potential for bias, and the need for, really rigorous fact-checking when we're dealing with these systems.
Yeah. And this brings up another really important point, which the article touches on as well, and that's the potential impact on privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, AI systems with near infinite memory, they could amass like an unprecedented amount of personal information.
They could. It's a lot of power.
Right, and with great power comes great responsibility, as they say.
They do say that.
So, how do we ensure that these systems are actually developed and used in a way that respects individual privacy and safeguards that sensitive data?
Yeah, well, it's a really complex issue. There's no easy answers.
Of course.
But I think we need to start by establishing very clear ethical guidelines and regulations for how these technologies are developed and deployed.
Okay.
And we also need to make sure that individuals have more control over their own data, you know, giving them a say in how it's used and who can use it.
It sounds like we're navigating some pretty uncharted territory here, not just technologically, but like ethically and socially.
We are.
We're talking about, some really fundamental questions about data ownership, about privacy, and about the responsible use of, incredibly powerful technology.
Yeah, absolutely. These are questions we'll need to grapple with as a society as we move further into this new era of AI.
Right.
And I think, open dialogue, collaboration between technologists, policymakers, and the public is going to be absolutely essential to ensure that we're harnessing this technology for good.
It's a good reminder that, technology doesn't exist in a vacuum.
It doesn't.
It's shaped by and has the potential to really reshape our values, our societies, even our understanding of what it means to be human.
Absolutely. The advancements we're seeing in AI, particularly with near infinite context windows, they have the potential to revolutionize, countless aspects of our lives.
Right.
But with that potential comes a responsibility to approach this technology thoughtfully, ethically, and with a really keen awareness of its broader impact.
So, to kind of wrap things up here, it seems like this deep dive has really been a fascinating exploration of both, the extraordinary possibilities and the complex challenges presented by this next generation of AI.
It has.
It's clear that we're standing on the cusp of a new era, one that's, filled with both immense promise and, profound questions. And as we continue to kind of delve into this world of near infinite context windows, I think it's crucial to remember that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's a future that we are actively shaping through the choices we make today. So as we all move forward, I just encourage everyone, to consider how these advancements might impact your own life, your work, and, the world around you. Stay curious, stay informed, and let's embrace this new era of AI with both, excitement and a deep sense of responsibility. This has been the deep dive, and we'll see you next time as we continue to explore the most fascinating and impactful developments shaping our world.